You're going to learn all about batteries today, but very special batteries. My guest is Dr. Christina Lampe-Onerud, an inorganic chemist who founded Cadenza Innovation based in Wilton. All right, so my science abilities are not what yours are. Tell me about what you do at Cadenza Innovation. It was founded just in 2012. Tell me what you do there.
So we are a group of passionate change makers who are committed to being part of the new energy paradigm. And we're so lucky because energy matters in almost everybody's life. And our commitment is now to bring in really low cost, really high reliability and compact power. And teaming up with the existing energy paradigm, which is mostly fossil fuels, but through this, empowering solar and geothermal and hydro to come into the mix to potentially be part of the solution for climate change.
So this has to do with power grids?
Yes.
Both commercial and at home?
Yes, so home energy storage, big commercial buildings, but also in collaboration with the existing networks.
How did you find that this was your passion? You're the former CEO of Boston Power, so you've kind of been playing around in this area. What happened where you said, I'm gonna found this company?
Yeah, so it was an amazing journey with Boston Power. We started, this is what I do, I start in the garage all the time.
You started in the garage?
Yes,
okay,
of course.
Well, that's
and
good.
For Boston Power, I had already been in the industry for some time. I did my PhD in this vein of innovation and participated in the portable power industry as I grew up and became mature and came into electric cars. And when then, having started Boston Power, grew to 9 operating companies globally and stepped back as we moved headquarters from Boston to Beijing and decided to raise my family in the United States and not move to Beijing. Stood back on the docket, saw the ship sail away into the sunset and said, huh, that was fun. And next to me, I had a really capable team. And we all looked at each other and said, wow, wasn't that amazing?
How did a girl from Sweden, which, you know, is very cold and your days are very, very long in the summertime, 21 hours? Is
yeah,
it just
something
about?
Like that.
How did you find yourself in this field?
So my father was an innovator in high power transmission.
In Sweden?
In Sweden. He was one of the innovators for ASEA Brown Boveri, the Westinghouse of Europe.
Wow.
So high power transmission was a big thing, electricity. And I grew up when robots was kind of coming into the manufacturing floor. I had a Spectrum computer where me and my brother played video games on cassette tapes, you know, with a keyboard, and super high tech, and yet my mother was part of the arts and music, and she was a teacher, so super interesting life, actually. I felt all the time I'm part of a global innovation change maker team that must do good by others.
And Cadenza Innovation is on the global stage.
Yeah.
Tell me how.
Yeah, so we have this unique opportunity to bring down the cost without subsidies, to simplify what the industry already knows and give you, the consumer, just a Lego block of energy. And I would love for you to be really intrigued and understand all the intricacies and the simplification and the beauty of the invention, but I'm equally delighted if you just say, oh, this is so cool, I can use it, and you just click these batteries together, and you can own part of your energy.
So you can serve energy in these
boxes, basically.
boxes.
Big
How big are the boxes?
So we've learned from the automotive industry that each one of the Lego blocks are roughly the size of a book, so you can catch it in one hand or carry it in one hand, and then you can basically replace it, and it seems to be a good weight right now, so it's mainly constrained by humans. But in principle, any size, any shape.
And you store it somewhere. Now, how does the energy, do we use solar?
You can, or you can use the electricity net the way it works today, where you just use batteries for arbitrage. So that's a more environmentally friendly and cheaper.
So how much cheaper? We look at our electric bills and they seem to be going up and up and up.
Yeah.
So how much cheaper? A third cheaper? A half cheaper?
So the goal initially is to get in on the fossil fuel paradigm on par, but then when you add in, if you could have transparency in as a homeowner, for example, of where is the electricity cheap and where is it expensive? If you could have that, you could basically do the arbitrage with batteries. Most consumers don't have that transparency, but most commercial buildings do. So for them, it's already a chance to win on their operating cost by installing batteries, and the payback is within 3 years.
Are there other states that have this? Is it other countries that have this? Where is this technology right now that you're developing in Connecticut?
Yeah, so we were so proud to have in our backyard this super cool neighbor in New York State. So NYPA, the New York Power Authority, is teaming up on the heels of what DOE, the Department of Energy, has sponsored some studies of this technology that we invented. And you know, we have learned a lot of things about it. And NYPA said, we want to be a pioneer. And ABB is coming in to support this mission. And NYSERDA, the state of New York, said, great, we're going to give you a chance. So we're going to do a demonstration project in New York, in White Plains, which hopefully qualifies this technology to go into New York City. And in some way, we all live in the suburbs of New York City.
So Connecticut will watch what is going on in New York.
Yeah.
And perhaps then
hopefully,
say,
we just copy exact and we install the same things
that's your template.
Here. Yeah.
Okay.
So I have interest actually from Australia on this particular topic, on China, on Europe, various states.
You mentioned the garage. So where was the eureka moment? Because you have a background in power and energy. Where was the moment that you said, there it is?
Yeah.
Was it in the garage?
No, it was, of course, at the dining room table. I mean, food is the other source of energy that we care about. So sitting down just saying, wow, that's so cool. Like, how can I be helpful? I want to be a useful engine in this society. And what can we do as a team? So we have this classic New England style of being a little understated compared to many of the other tech entrepreneurs. But we're really good at teamwork, and we pride ourselves on making our partners really shine. And ultimately, we love for the product to sit center stage, all the spotlights, get all the attention. And we were happy to step back and say, look at that.
And you're a female CEO, which I love. How many people are employed?
So Cadenza Innovation is small. We have 27 employees. We have roughly 70 consultants. And through our partner network, probably close to 200 people engaged in this mission. And this year is very interesting because we're bringing on manufacturing arms. So hopefully, when I see you next time, we have some very big players behind us.
All right, you mentioned the mission. Let's show the video about what Cadenza Innovation does.
Okay. Cadenza Innovation was named from the world of music. A cadenza is where the musician gets with an idea and creates a new space. And the other musicians hold the note, maybe move the chords a little bit to accommodate this new idea, to just blossom. And then the musicians join in on that new idea.
Cadenza is an innovation company. We're focusing on the energy market and energy storage specifically.
In transportation, in grid, in everyday life. In fact, we're going to a future of mobility.
We have some of the leaders in this field.
On our staff, we have material scientists, manufacturing technologists, people that have actually built gigafactories.
We understand that we're all doing it together as a team.
Every expert has a voice at the table.
And we're trying to apply that intellectual capital and our entrepreneurial spirit to changing a very large industry.
That brings true innovation.
When we look at the history of lithium-ion, all the lessons learned of portable power, now going into cars and peak power shaving and partnering up with the biggest utility companies in the world, there's a need to put 20 years of experience into a little box.
Lithium-ion batteries, there's no question that they're the most dominant battery technology in the world. However, there is one problem with them, and that is the cost. And we have fundamentally found a pathway to solving that cost.
A Cadenza Supercell.
The design is a simplified design.
Smaller, more compact, higher energy density, lower cost, and safer.
Due to its non-cascading property, we can package the cell very densely together. If one of these gel rolls were to have an internal short, it's designed in such a way that it cannot propagate through to the other gel rolls.
Space is a premium, we know that. It's basically an egg carton that you populate with eggs.
It can be longer, wider, thicker.
One Lego block of energy to empower engineers globally.
We're not into hyperbole. We're into delivering value to customers.
This is an innovation company. We're about creating knowledge, deploying that knowledge into manufacturable designs and demos, and empower OEMs and other manufacturers to deploy this technology into products that you use every day.
We operate on facts. We operate on data.
Low cost is what we're driving with in almost every single product that we introduce. To have cost drive innovation and then lead with performance in the marketplace is a really cool combination.
We want to change the paradigm within this industry. Solve a problem that's very real today.
Look at where the world is right now. Optimize the application, optimize our society.
This team is all in. We are determined to find solutions and be a positive change for generations to come.
And there you have it, Cadenza Innovation. How are you getting colleges involved in this, if at all, with innovators, entrepreneurs?
So when you have a topic that is as current as potentially climate change or energy revolution or the 24/7 paradigm or artificial intelligence, you capture the imagination of change makers, innovators, people who like to refuse the current paradigm or people who would like to advance the current paradigm. So we are so blessed with so many people who would like to join this mission in some way. Specifically here in Connecticut, we are teaming up with UConn, where we have sponsored some senior projects. We have active programs going with UConn. And of course, my alma mater with MIT. Of course, we have worked with MIT and just finding some people that really would like to let the data decide the decisions and who are capable of holding the possibility for change open and invent against that mission.
I love how you talked about your batteries, that it's an egg carton with eggs inside of it. That's the size of it.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
And you can combine these batteries all together for more energy saving.
Yeah.
Where are you going next? So you talked about within the year it's going to roll out in New York State. Are there other things on the horizon that your company is going to do that maybe you can't even talk about yet, but you have ideas out there?
We actually are in multiple discussions of next demos and also commercial discussions where there are opportunities to go into specialty markets. Think of wheelchairs that by and large today use lead-acid technology, where lithium-ion, which this is a flavor of, is much more efficient, and the Cadenza solution is the most reliable and the cheapest. So you could fit more energy on the back of one of those chairs.
Wow.
Or you can take a golf cart or a forklift or a moped or some motorbike and you can take it into cars. We just did a demonstration under Department of Energy with Fiat Chrysler for a Fiat 500, the teenage car, and it made it into a Fiat 500e. And we drove some demos and testing in Los Angeles.
And how does that work? It stores the energy inside the battery for how long?
So it depends. So it's a little bit like the idea of the Lego blocks, clicking them together. It's a little bit like a childhood's Band-Aid. Cut as much as you need, so whatever you think you need. So most people drive only 40 miles a day, and yet some of the debates in media is around, do we need 300 miles or 500 miles? Well, if we think of sustainability, we would say you would rent or borrow or take a ride when you need to go that far. And as long as we want to own our vehicles, why wouldn't you have one that is tailored and perfect for your local life? And maybe you would have various devices that take you in different places.
When you founded this company, is it going in the directions that you thought? Oftentimes with innovators and entrepreneurs, they think it's going to go this way, but it goes all different ways. What are you finding?
I'm finding that we're actually crushing it. We want to be a kind of a silent force in this global economy, and we are earning trust by some of the biggest players in the world. Like some of the biggest battery companies. So in fact, the name, the Supercell, was given to this technology by the biggest Japanese leader. Like the idea of having these click together, was absorbed by Fiat Chrysler. Immediately, they heard about this idea and they said, hey, if that works, that's going to change how we think about stuff. We'll give them a chance. And they did. And they were so generous. And it was an amazingly inspiring experience to work together.
You're going to have to beef up your sales force around the world, I guess, is what's going to have to happen.
Yeah, or multiple people who need the solution. So I think sales is interesting, right? You could do sales like, I'm going to inspire you to buy it, or I could just plainly come and say, would you like something that is a little cheaper, a little safer, and a lot more compact? And if I solve a problem for you, you do the sales.
That's, well, word of mouth, right? Where are the batteries made?
So today we have a small technical center, actually in Bethel at One Duracell Drive, where we have a small, very, very mini production line that can make roughly 5,000 Supercells per year. And we're now scaling with partners in other parts of the world where we will get to, you've, I'm sure, heard about gigafactories. That's the game.
It rolls off my tongue all the time.
Of course, because our friend Elon Musk made that very public when he built a gigafactory. Just saying, I built a gigafactory with my previous company in China before then.
Well, I wish you well. I can't wait to see where this company goes next. Dr. Christina Lampe-Onorud, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Spend all night kissing and the bottle's right here, then who else is missing? Got a little sidetracked to find myself wishing to find the keys to the door, but it's also a metaphor. Need to keep locked in the grocery store, but mine just to save time. Skip right ahead to the last ride.